me on?
Cowboys
So
Nation.
where you at with the defense, Michael Parsons, and their side of the ball?
Yeah, I think that we're starting to see. The thing with Michael Parsons is that there's no doubt that he's great. I mean, he's a great defensive player, but you do see a lot of these, a lot of the big games. Same way with Dak. There's some times where you want him to show up and he doesn't show up. The same thing with Parsons is that somebody had mentioned that a lot of his sacks had come against some of the teams that weren't that great, but when he played the better teams, he couldn't get sacks. When we were playing a guy like Josh Allen, there was no pressure, no sacks in that game. There was had a hard time getting to. I don't think they sacked Jared Goff when we played Detroit. Like some of the better teams just you don't see Micah showing up on film as much. And when you want an impactful player, you look at a guy like I keep using them as an example, but I mean, it's because they're the model of success because they keep winning championships. But you look at Chris Jones and the playoff run he had. I mean, he didn't have like the greatest of regular seasons, but he took over when the playoffs
moments.
He was he was a force. He was a guy that you had to know. You had to count where he was at, and even knowing where he was at and knowing that he was coming, he still impacted.
Didn't make a difference.
Yeah, and so you gotta, you look to a guy like that, and you want him to be the leader. You want him to be the guy that gets that defense ready, and you want the defense to kind of feed off of his energy. But when he's out there and you're looking at him, and and he's kind of, looks like sometimes he gets a little nicked up, and he may be limping around out there, and you're like, well, I need to see more. I need to see you showing up, especially if we're talking about breaking the bank and making you one of the highest paid defenders in the league. I'm going to need more from you in these big game situations.
Mm-hmm.
And while I don't think that the podcast and everything, while I don't think that that's a problem, I think what it is it's just a bad look.